You're talking about the marriage lie, and I was doing so good with posting my drafts and clearing my phone, and I done got on a tangent, but this is a good one. When I always say that, this is a good one. This one really is good. As an added bonus, you get the yelling kids in the background. Like, where else are you gonna find this kind of content? So if this is your content of choice, yes, I am Lonnie Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate, if that is your content of choice. Please consider following, commenting, reposting, and sharing link with your community to help our community grow. Left off the last video talking about I know my parents didn't love me because I didn't know how to love myself. And if you are a young out there and you are struggling with self-love, while you still can, go to your parents or your guardians and say, hey, I'm struggling with self-love. We need to have a conversation because I don't want to go out into this world and start trying to fill that void with a bunch of BS. Definitely temper your language to however you speak to your guardians. I ain't trying to have y'all come up in my comment section talking about I got your mouth slapped. The guardians, you also want to create a safe space for your kid to come to you and say, hey, I need to talk to you. And if you're a guardian and you can look at your kid and say, hey, start diving into, do you feel loved? How do I make you feel loved? Start asking some probing questions to find out if there's a void there, because we would not have adults who do not have the capacity to love themselves. I ain't even talking about loving you yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to love myself. And if I don't have the capacity to love myself, how am I gonna love you? And I'm out here, the one, we're mindful to think that we have to have the one. So you wonder why we're so judgmental. Man, I would hate to have only set on one in a lifetime. I'm sorry, y'all. We've only set on one in a lifetime. I mean, if it's a good, but what are you measuring it against? You know, I've had a plethora of days, an array of days, and didn't enjoy more of half of them. Whatever is more of half, didn't enjoy those. I enjoyed myself and I did what I wanted to do, but I did all those things because I didn't know better, so I sell myself on I did what I wanted to do, but it's because I didn't know any better. If I had some fucking self-love, no, I wouldn't let a nigga f me to a staticky radio. If I had some self-love, no, I wouldn't let a nigga f me in the back of a Pinto. If I had some self-love, no, I wouldn't let best friends tell me they had no idea I was fucking their best friend. If I had some self-love, no one taught me. That's wild. You're talking self-love, the marriage lie, femininity, somewhere crept in there. So, you know, we're here. What's good, y'all? I'm Lonnie Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, reposting, and sharing videos with your community so that we can grow. All right, so yeah, I endured, I allowed, I'm not a victim. Even when I was assaulted, I was a victim because I trusted because I was trying to think, look, y'all gonna get mad at me, it's whatever, I'm trying to heal. So if in my healing I gotta admit some uncomfortable stuff, I'm not going to limit my healing and other people's potential healing by, no, that's too, you know, that's not PC enough, I don't want to get canceled. No, I'm gonna say some hard-hitting stuff, because who wants to stay trapped? If you have been SA'd, do you want to stay trapped? Or if you could heal, you'd heal. So if I have to say something that's uncomfortable, if healing was on the other end of the discomfort, isn't it worth it? I think it's worth it. I think you're worth it. If it's worth it, let me work it. Let me down in reverse. But if I had some self-love, I wouldn't even found myself in none of those situations that I was in. And I fault my parents for never loving me. And it's not a damnation fault. It's just, okay, if we could root back to the causality of this absence of love of self, mom, dad, hello, 'tis you. So it's not coming from a bitter space. It is what it is. But at least I could dig down to the root of why I suffer from the absence of self-love. It's because I was never loved until I was 36 years old by a man who said, you should just let me love you. And I was like, okay, yo Mario looking ass, I'm gonna give you a chance. And so I let him love me, and he is the best man he's the only man. I almost said this the other day, but I felt bad. I was like, he's the first man to ever treat me like a human being. And that includes my father. Now, I am a daddy's girl, daddy's girl, daddy's girl. But I'm also a realist. So I know that my father, I've always been conflicted because I was just like, and this is one of the women's complaints, so I suffer from it too. Fathers walk on water. My dad did way more than my mother ever did to me because my mom was just absent, and that was her crime. But my dad actually did things to me. And to this day, my dad walks on water, and my mom had to regain, after death, forgiveness. It's pretty major, y'all. We are talking self-love, or the absence, therefore, of young William Shakespeare. It's good, John Lonnie Appleton. I'm a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, reposting videos with your community so that we can all grow. Thank you. So, I went through a lot because it was never demonstrated for me how to love myself. And I made a plea to Black women and women in general, but I'm gonna address my peers first always. And everybody else can interpret. I only got one shot, like Eminem. Cannot miss my chance to blow. This video only comes once in a lifetime, so I'm gonna address my peers, and the rest of y'all just read between the lines. Apply where applicable. Where's applicable? Apply that shit. Y'all know I question my speech. Boom. I was supposed to be an orator because as messed up as my speech is, I love speaking. I'm good at it. Even I'm sure those of you who are linguists, y'all looking at me like this, stumbling all kinds. This is really messing up the English language. I can't stand it, but I'm stuck. It's because it's a gift. As a child, I was punished by copying pages out the encyclopedia and the dictionary. When I moved to Arizona, I moved in with my English teacher, among other aspects in the education arena. But my English teacher, auntie, who corrected every word that came out of my mouth. No wonder I correct every word that comes out of everybody around me mouth. I've learned how to just keep it in the family. But that's the history of why I literally will stop and be like, okay, what is that word? Or I'll fixate. Me and language are like this. Getting back on track, if you are with your spouse and look at how they love you, or you're with the spouse and you're struggling with self-love, then look at how they love you. But at the end of the day, what you allow to be in your life, it's the difference between me sitting on this side of the retention wall and that side of the retention wall. What you allow in your life is equivalent to your level of self-love. So if you do a quick assessment of your life and you get out your feelings, and you do a quick assessment of your life, and you're like, damn, I can't believe I allow this into my life. It's time to get to work on that self-love and surrounding yourself with people who elevate you, who tell you, just let me love you. And you take a chance on love. And in taking that chance on love, you really find out what love is. And even in finding out what love is, you find out it could be even better.